By definition, an antenna is a metal whip designed to receive and transmit radio signals within a given area.
It's BS in the Morning on KSLQ and Westplex 107.1.
That's the way I feel this morning. It's Monday, right? No, actually, I feel great this morning. Good morning to you. It is BS.Show. Yes, not just any show. It's the BS.Show. Yes, and don't think it's like BS.Show.com or some crazy stuff like that. Just go into your browser, type in BS.Show, and guess what? You'll see this amazing picture of Shelly and this less than amazing picture of me. It's right there in full color, right there on your portable device, on your smartphone, your tablet, your desktop. It could even be on, like, if you have one of the new cars, has like the, the built-in stuff in the dashboard. Right there. Yeah, right there, showing your low oil pressure. That'll show on my face there, right there. Good morning to you. It is a Monday morning. It is the last Monday of August. And hopefully, we're through with the heat. Man, it was hot over the weekend. Hot. Unbelievably hot on Saturday, still hot yesterday. But, the crazy thing about it is, I lost my list here in the studio. I'll see if we can find it again. Everybody's always talking about, oh, my God, it's never been this hot. Guess what? 1934, 1954. Hottest temperatures. I had that list of the 10 hottest temperatures ever, and this is for the official St. Louis reading, and that was, we go by for the entire St. Louis area, all the St. Charles County, Franklin County, Warren County, on the east side as well, too. It's the official St. Louis temperature out at the airport. And of the top 10 hottest days ever in St. Louis, I think 8 of them are either in 1934 or 1954. So we haven't even come close. And think about it. No problems with protesters and everything like that in 1934, 1954. Who's texting me? No, it's not. I just checked it. It must be on your end because of the fact, let me do it again. Let me do this, do it right here. I'll do this, I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll hit this, and it shows working. You know what? Maybe I have to reboot the computer. Here we go again. Anyway, let's do that. Okay, so I'm going to wait for Shelly. Hold on a minute. While I'm waiting for Shelly, now that I got my new little thing here, this is so nice. Sometimes she almost sounds better on the phone than she does in person. Hold on a minute. Let me do this. Da-da-da-da. Okay, I'm going to hit this, and then we'll see if it works. I'll do this. Oh, yeah, my new phone gizmo. Mike Otten, it's your fault that phones sound good. It's all your fault. You got tired of the phone sounding bad. Now the phone sounds
good. Good morning, this is Shelly. How can I grow your business today?
How can you grow my business today? Can you get ads for Mike Carter on my radio station?
Do we really want him? Oh, did I say that out loud?
You said that on the air. That's pretty funny. Hold on a minute.
Thank you for warning me, Brad.
Warning you about what? Hold on a minute. Oh, that was pretty funny, Shelly.
Everybody else you get on the phone, you say...
What do I say?
Watch your language because you're on the air.
Yeah, well, because my friends...
And you don't say that to me, and I find that funny, considering... Well, my vocabulary.
You're sort of in the clan, so to speak. You know what I mean? Hold on a minute. Is that working on your end now?
Yes, it is.
Okay, did you
Can you hear me?
Okay, you pulled up. Okay, yeah, come here for there. Okay. See, what's frustrating to me is I've told this before. I run these ads in the station. I think I took them off finally. What frustrates me is these people, and you brought it up. These people that talk about, hey, you got to do business locally. And yet when they buy their advertising for politics, they buy the stations. They're all headquartered like in New York or Philadelphia. You know what I'm saying? And
I do.
When you write them a check, guess what? That money goes to those cities. Doesn't stay here in St. Louis. Well, to a certain extent it does because they make the payroll. But it doesn't recirculate around the community. And being a Chamber of Commerce person, that the impact that local business has on local economy. Matter of fact, did I ever tell you this story? I love $2 bills. And there have been chambers that do this around the country where the chamber goes out and literally goes to the bank and orders like $10,000 in $2 bills. Have you ever heard this story before?
No, but I think I want to do it.
Well, the Chamber of Commerce orders like $10,000 in $2 bills. And then
not that much, but
then what they do is
scale.
They have the chamber members come to the chamber office and like exchange $100 in like 20s for $100 in 2s. So in other words, these people go out and they spend these $2 bills in the local community. And the idea being is then they run an ad campaign saying, hey, you wonder how much influence the local economy has? You see those $2 bills floating around the town, around the city, whatever? Those are all local. They come for Chamber of Commerce members. In other words, you can trace it, because all of a sudden, because rarely do you see a $2 bill anymore. I love $2 bills. I have a tough time getting them myself. And even to the point where most banks don't even carry them anymore. If you go to the bank, they won't. And what
they really don't. And they're really kind of fun.
Well, to me, the back of the $2 bill is the most beautiful piece of currency we have in circulation because it's a big, huge picture of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. And it's like no other currency we have. This is a big picture. It's not like a little tiny thing with the goofy things like, what is it, like with the $1 bills with the pyramids on it and stuff like that, which had the eye sticking out of the pyramid, which nobody can figure out. Anyway, it's a beautiful piece of artwork on the back of the $2 bill. And you know what else is good about the $2 bills?
What?
They won't go through the currency counters. So if you pay somebody like $1,000 in $2 bills, they get mad at you.
And let me see. Who's done that, Brad? That sounds like one of your shenanigans.
No. If somebody calls me up and says, Brad, I owe you $10,000, I'm going to come over and pay it in quarters. I go, that's fine. Wouldn't bother me at all.
That's because cash is cash to you.
Well, cash is, once again, it's like, I told you the story how one day did I ever tell you this story about going to the St. Louis County Courthouse? And you got all these guys, these flipper dudes, the investor guys, we buy ugly houses kind of things. And nothing against them. I just might have gotten a bad one. So I go down one day, and they talk about, your stuff being sold in the courthouse steps, and trust me, I know about that. Anyway, so one day I'm going between floors in the old county building. They changed it around since they put the new courts and stuff like that. They put the new addition onto it. Anyway, I'm coming down the escalator from one floor to the next, and here is a bunch of people all gathered in a corner. And I go, what's going on over here? So I walked over and I wanted to say to this one guy, I go, hey man, what's going on? Oh, this is the sale on the courthouse steps. We're buying real estate. I go, really? I go, are you one of those guys that buys houses? Oh yeah. I said, you pay cash? Yeah. Do you do like in hundreds? And he looks at me and he says, blankety blank, you blankety blank, we pay with a check. I go, that's not cash. Yeah, it is. See, I've had this argument with the smartest woman in the world. Cash means cash. Cash doesn't mean a cashier's check. Cash doesn't mean a wire transfer. Cash means folding greenbacks. Because when you go to the store and it says cash only, what does that mean? Like that happened to me. Where was I over the weekend? Someplace I went. Where was that? How soon you forget? It was McDonald's. I had McDonald's Saturday afternoon. And the McDonald's I went to, when I went up to the drive-thru, the lady says, sorry, sir, we can only accept cash. I said, that's fine. So what does that mean? She can only accept cash. Can I write her a check?
Do they even take personal checks anymore?
No. But
does anyone take personal checks
seriously,
anymore?
Can I write them a check? The answer to that question is no. Can I give them a credit card? The answer to that question is no. I have to have folding money. That's what cash means. So what's interesting is I get these guys from time to time that call me and say, hi, I'm so-and-so. You want to sell your property? I go, yeah. You pay cash? Yeah. Okay. Can I get it in $100 bills? We don't do that. I go, you say you pay cash? No, we don't do cash. We do cash. I know it's a quirk of mine.
Not cash.
But it's a quirk of mine. But if someone says to you, like if someone said to you, hey, Shelly, why don't you come over to my house and I'll give you some wine. We'll have wine at my house. And you go over there and all they have is beer. And you go, well, hold it. I don't like beer.
Why would I want wine? I've got wine every morning from 6 to 8.
No, but the idea of being if you go over there and
sometimes I just tickle myself.
Well, no.
I swear, I'm just so hilarious.
You do what to yourself?
Tickle myself.
I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
It's not gonna happen, Brad.
One more time.
Nope.
What do you do?
No.
You know what, Shelly? Every time I think about you know what I think?
Why do I have to do this with this woman?
No, this is what I think.
Because this is your world, and you can create anything that you want in it.
That's what I think.
Well, I do. There is a different world in Shelley world.
And you know what else I think?
What?
I think sometimes we work too hard at painting. Painting should always be fun. Should make you happy.
That's what I think.
Painting?
I think sometimes we work too hard at painting. Painting should always be fun. Should make you happy.
Painting. Painting. That's what I thought.
Because this is your world.
Was that
and you
Bob
can
Ross?
create anything that you
Bob
want
Ross.
in it. Because this is your world, and you can create anything that you want in it.
Is that Bob Ross?
That's what she said.
Because this is your world, and you can create anything that you want in it.
Okay. Moving on. Got the message.
That's what she said.
I'm sorry.
We need a 2022 version of Bob Ross. Won't let me touch
People
were a lot friendlier back then.
That's what she said.
She did say that.
You know what else they were like back then?
What? They're very hairy.
That's what they were back then.
Now, you take that out of context. You know I'm talking about my puppies.
Because this is your world, and you can create anything that you want in it.
Ew, covers the crevices of the meat. No.
That's what she said.
You were such a man-child. Man-child. Won't let me touch him. That is true.
That's
that
what
was
she
about
said.
my puppy as well.
That's what
and
she
he
said.
would rather eat my face than have me groom him or
That's what
touch
she
him
said.
where he's not feeling well. I can't even look at it. He'll growl at me and want to eat me.
That's what she said.
Well, that's another good one right there.
Don't even think about it. And I am not kidding.
That's
You need to refrain from that.
You know,
Seriously.
you know what? One morning, here's what I'm going to do. I got 202 of these things. I've been collecting them since we went on the air. One morning, I'm just going to do an hour, and I'm going to start with number 1 and play them all up through 200. Just one whole hour of nothing but drops. What do you think? I mean, you think Howard Stern's got
Would
good
that be something that you would want to listen to?
Oh, I would. You know what? There was a guy years ago. There was a guy by the name of John Records Landecker, and there's a classic bit he did where this is, back in the day where, radio stations had tons of jingles. He did one whole break where he played every station jingle. It was so funny. It was like he did all the jock shout outs, John Landecker, John Landecker, WLS, and he just played them one after another, WLS, more music, more fun, the whole jingle package, just one after another. It was a riot because normally it's out of context. Normally you only hear jingles, between songs and things like that back in the old days. You know what? I wish I was rich enough to have a jingle package. I would, Shelley
You
Bar,
know what?
Shelley Bar.
A friend of mine that used to work at the FIA,
Yeah.
his friend lives down in Texas and has a jingle company.
I wonder if that's TM Productions. TM was one. I don't know if they're still around. TM was, a matter of fact, I have been to TM Productions in Dallas. I bought a multi-track recorder from them years ago. I drove down to Dallas and picked this thing up. And matter of fact, it was funny because I bought it for used. Back in the day, it was probably $20,000 new. I think I bought it for $5,000 or $6,000 used. And I brought it back here to St. Louis. I used it for a couple of years, and I sold it to a local musician for, I think I made $1,000 on it, or something. Or maybe I broke it. I can't remember. But it's amazing because I now have that on my iPhone. You know what I mean? Like that. I have GarageBand on my iPhone, which I could record, I don't know, how many, 150 tracks or some crazy thing like that. And in the studio, you and I both use Adobe Audition, and we can record. We have the basic version of Adobe Audition. We can record. I think that will do 96 tracks, and it's like on a computer
at the same time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. In other words, we could record. You and I could record a music piece with 96 musicians, and every single musician would have his own track, and then we'd mix it down. So in other words, we could record
mix it down.
We could record
Is it like boogieing on down? You won't let me touch them. They're very hairy.
Because this is your world, and you can create anything that you want in it.
That's right.
That is true, and I do.
You sure do. There's no doubt about that.
Thanks, Brad.
It's Shelly World. Okay.
It is Shelly World.
It is 6:26. It is BS.Show. I will have to admit, yes, effective today, we are the first station in the country to play Christmas music, and we're going to play it all the way through December 25th. Yes, we are starting early because, you know why?
Why?
Because we have a sponsor.
We do?
Wally World, yesterday, put out all their Christmas stuff. So they've contacted us, and they said, we want you to be the first radio station in the country to go all Christmas music. I go, it's July 25th. Yep. 5 months from today, it's Christmas. We're starting our Christmas. Matter of fact, they got the Christmas trees out already. They got all the ornaments and everything like that.
Do they really?
Oh, you walk in the store, it's right all there. It's all right there. And they contacted me. Matter of fact, they had a guy fly up from Bentonville, Arkansas. I met him at the airport.
Okay, there you blew it.
I met him at the airport. And
okay,
he says, Brad, he says, no BS. We want BS to be the first show in the country to play all Christmas music. I go, but it's July 25th. And he goes, Brad, we didn't get to be Walmart by just screwing around. We mean business. And I go, okay, fine, whatever. So,
do you feel better?
No, it's true. What are you talking about?
It's a big fat lie.
Oh, go to Wally World today. You walk in the door.
No. I believe that they've got their Christmas stuff out.
Matter of fact, and Vicky White.
I just don't believe that they called us.
Vicky White from the Salvation Army called me and said, Brad.
Did she? I love her.
Starting Monday, she
is such a good human.
We're having the bell ringers at all the stores again. I go, really? She goes, yeah. Bell ringers starting Monday. 25th.
Yeah, into the 10,000 degrees. That makes me in the Christmas spirit.
It's so hot that the bells are melting.
Yes.
I found one of my bells. Hold on. Did I ever tell you this? I lost all my other big bells.
That's the official bell ringer's bell.
Yeah, that's the official bell ringer's bell. But all my good bells are gone. I don't know what happened.
Where?
I don't know. They're gone. I can't find them anymore.
If I would have known that, I would have kept them.
I don't know what happened to them.
I gave them all back to you, Brad.
I know somebody stole them. There are people out there. There are people. They have like when the Salvation Army bell ringers. There are people that hold them up. God, have you seen this bizarre story about this clergy guy that got robbed while he was giving a sermon yesterday and on camera?
No.
Oh my God, it's so bizarre. We got to talk about that next time.
First of all, why was he being videotaped in church?
Well, a lot of people do that.
Oh, okay. Anyway, go on.
I mean, think about it. Grace River does that.
They do. You're correct. I overspoke.
A lot of people do that because if you can't get to church, you can just watch it on your computer, watch it on your phone, watch it on your, watch it on your, whatever you have. Watch it on your laptop. Watch it on your, desktop. Watch it on your if you got Alexa or what is it? Alexa Show, whatever. You can just watch it right there.
Yeah, you can.
You can watch it on your fingernail. If you have the fingernail adapter for your phone.
I haven't gotten that one yet.
Oh, you don't? Well, that's right. You have an Android. You don't have that. Okay. I sent you a picture.
You did.
I have a major problem.
I can tell what it is.
Do you know what that is?
Yes.
What is it?
You're out of Little Debbie's.
No, it's even worse. Take a close look at that picture I sent you. I got my couple boxes of Little Debbie's here at the radio station. And I go to grab one out of the box, buy them by the box at Schnucks. And I sat down here in the studio, and I'm about ready to munch on one. I go like, hold on a minute. What's in this bag is open already. I have a mouse. See where it ate the plastic? It ate the plastic and ate part of my party cake.
It surely did.
I got a mouse here in the radio station.
Aren't you sure it's not a squirrel?
No, it's a mouse.
Those little mutant things will eat a house.
No, it's a mouse. And you know what? You know what makes sense?
What?
I've been a bad boy and I haven't refilled my my bait traps lately. So that's what I get for not taking care of my pest control at the radio station, right?
That's very true.
Yeah.
I have Pez take care of mine.
Yeah, see, you're smart. I'm a dummy. I have to tell you, I learned this years ago from one of my broadcast buddies, because the problem we have at transmitter sites is both of our transmitter sites are like out in the middle of nowhere. The crap transmitter sites were sits right there on Highway 47, and all the fields around it had like the corn, and and the varmints get in there and eat all the corn up and stuff like that, and then they come over to our transmitter site and eat the wires in our transmitter. So years ago, I used to take a mason jar, when you could buy mason jars, and poke holes in it and throw mothballs in it, and that worked. But then somebody said to me, "Hey man, you can just buy the stupid little bait things where they eat them, and you know what they do? You know how it kills them?
No.
It makes them super thirsty, and they can't get enough water, and I think they drink themselves.
Okay,
to death.
we don't need to talk about that.
No, seriously. So
seriously, we really don't need to talk about it.
I got a mouse in the radio station.
Thank you, Mr. Wizard.
I got a mouse.
Amazing.
What now? What'd you say?
I think we should move on.
That's what she said.
She did indeed. They're very hairy. They really are. So, did I already give a shout out to Dawn Davis? You won't let me touch him.
Dawn Davis. No, go ahead and talk.
Yeah, she's actually the groomer that grooms my dogs.
Oh, you did that last week.
I did?
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, she groomed the other dog.
Yeah.
And she's not as feisty as Chance's, but and they look beautiful and like somebody cares about them again. They look like they were thrown away. So Dawn, thank you so much at K9 Creations.
You know what? She does a great job at all my dishes.
Oh, ha 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 ha. Dad joke. Was it a dad joke or a bad joke?
It was a bad dad joke. It was both. It was a bad dad joke.
A bad dad joke.
Next hour. Okay.
A bad Brad the dad joke.
I have to give my flip-flop ramped. Okay.
Are people who have ugly toes and wear flip-flops?
No, I don't understand. See, you know what's really interesting? I'll sort of preface this by saying there are people who are doing stuff on YouTube who don't realize they are getting themselves in huge trouble.
I know.
And
they're like that way on TikTok as well.
Well, and it's to the point where, once again, you worked for the government, okay?
I did.
And you worked outside, and you probably took, I don't know, can you count how many safety classes you took?
No. I worked for them for almost 15 years. No, I can't.
Would you say you've been to at least 30 safety classes?
More than that.
Okay, so you know what I'm talking about, okay?
Yes.
So what cracks me up is, first off, there's guys getting nailed left and right. Matter of fact, you know who the Diesel Brothers are? They used to have a TV show called The Diesel Brothers. It was on like Discovery or something like that.
I do not, but go on.
The Diesel brothers got fined almost $1 million.
For? Because
what they did was they were doing diesel trucks, and they were modifying the diesel trucks to, as they say, blow coal. You know what blowing coal means?
Smoke?
Yes, they modify the engine so that, back in the day, if you were behind a bus, the black smoke would come out. Well, if you're behind a truck, you don't see that anymore, because today's diesel engines run very, very, very efficiently and very cleanly. Only do you see black smoke coming out of the tailpipe of some bubba who's modified his truck to quote-unquote blow coal. Some of them have a switch, and I'm not exaggerating, this is a true story. Some of them have a switch where they've modified the controller to the engine. They can flip a switch, and the engine will run super rich, and essentially it doesn't burn all the diesel fuel fully, and it blows black smoke out the exhaust, okay? So the Diesel brothers got nailed by the EPA. Matter of fact, they got nailed by and they live in Utah, and they were forced to pay like $885,000 in fines. It was a big deal. And so
sounds like a big deal.
Well, I mean, once again, and the interesting thing was, how do you defend yourself when you go to court, when the federal government takes you to court, and all they do is, hey, we know you did this. Here's your YouTube video. You know what I mean? I mean, it's like it's called the ultimate in self-incrimination. So what I get is, I see these guys. And it used to be all the foreign dudes. You watch these guys who work in factories. You see these guys welding in factories, like in India and things like that. And they got on T-shirt, shorts, and flip-flops. And I'm going like, that would never go in the United States. Well, guess what? It would not. Guess what? I have been wrong. I am wrong. And once again, it's to the point where I'm going like, okay, I don't even believe what's going on with this anymore. And it's just one of those things. It's just like, I mean, what are they thinking? You know, I mean, you know, when you went to the safety classes, the reason they taught you those classes is because, and you probably saw some of did you ever watch any of the electrocution videos? You probably have.
Of literally electrocuting somebody?
Yeah, victims of electrocution.
No.
Okay.
I do not watch that kind of crap.
No. I took a safety class years ago where they showed us this. And
they never did that.
They showed us people who have been, I mean, obviously they were dead, but they showed you pictures of people who've been electrocuted. It's not a good way.
No, I've never seen that. Why would you bring that up?
Because of the fact that I'm going to talk about safety next hour. Safety. You know, the reason I bring that up is... over the weekend, remind me to tell the story of Captain Safety next hour, okay?
Okay.
Captain Safety.
What happened over the weekend?
I ran into somebody at a gas station. Have no idea what this guy's name is, but I knew who he worked for because he was driving one of their vehicles. And I said to him, do you know? And he goes, oh, you mean Captain Safety? It's a pretty funny story, okay?
Okay. I would love to hear something funny today.
What's that? What did you say? What did you say, Shelly?
Oh, Brad. It's 6:45.
Nothing happened. Hold on a minute. Let me do this. Hold on a minute. I did that. I hit this. There it is.
Here's your weatherology forecast for the Westplex. Cloudy today with a chance for scattered storms. High of 80. Northeast winds around 5 miles per hour. Scattered thunderstorms again. Tonight, 68. Overcast. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. The current temperature.
It is 5 months till Christmas. Yes, 5 months till Christmas. And we are the first radio station in the country to go all Christmas music. 5 months of Christmas music is on the way. And you know what?
What?
What's interesting is Mike Otten he figured it out yesterday. And you know what the amazing thing about it is? Yesterday, Al Gore came out of hiding. You know, hiding.
Oh, did he? He's been missed.
Yeah, he came out of hiding and talked about the environment. And in his speech, he said, if there were a radio station in this country that would start playing Christmas music, I bet you the temperature would go down 20 degrees. So I just started, and you know what? I just looked at my weather app. And yesterday, let me take a look at this. Yesterday, the high was, 102? Today, the high's only supposed to be 83. So, Al Gore, dude, you're right. I started playing Christmas music. The temperature's going down 20 degrees today. 20 degrees in one day because I'm playing Christmas music.
Okay.
You believe me?
Yes, Brad, I believe you. What do you think?
No, you don't believe me.
Bing, 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 bing. Give that man a prize. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
You don't believe me. By the way.
What?
This is the week. We got to grow that business. Grow that business. Grow that business. You want to be in, and by the way, remind me to talk about this next week or next hour. Loggins and Messina, okay? Remind me, put a note, Loggins and Messina next hour, okay?
Okay.
Loggins and Messina, and also Flipflops. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, Loggins and Messina and Flipflops. Okay, grow that business. Grow that business. You want to join a great Chamber of Commerce? Not just a good one, a great one. The Cottleville Walden Spring Chamber of Commerce.
They really are lovely.
Grow that business. Grow that business. and you check it out. Join. It's probably the least expensive chamber in the area, and probably as far as the most bang for your buck, it's the best. Grow that business, okay?
It is. They're very inclusive of the people that come in, and they are growing. I think they're up to like 500 people.
No, not that far. They're getting there.
Are they?
Yes.
Well, I know that they're up there.
Yep.
So, and I know that
That's because of us.
They really do
I mean,
try to help each individual business with that, whatever it is that they are struggling with.
Look at what's happened. I mean, we go on the air and play Christmas music because Al Gore told us to, and the temperature goes down 20 degrees. We tell you to join the Cottleville Weldon Springs Chamber of Commerce. There's people from L.A. and New York who are joining. They're going like, oh my God, got to join that chamber. Got to join that chamber. Here's the story. Okay, I teased you about this before. Let me find this again.
What's that?
This is from the New York Post, thanks to the smartest woman in the world. Okay, you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
I'll read you the first paragraph of the story. A flashy Brooklyn bishop was robbed in the middle of his live stream service Sunday when the gun-toting crooks accosted him at the podium before fleeing with $400,000 in jewelry. Bishop Lamar Whitehead, who, by the way, drives a Rolls-Royce, made news in May when he tried to negotiate the surrender of an accused subway shooter, but authorities separately nabbed the suspect. On Sunday, Whitehead was in the middle of his sermon at the Leaders of Tomorrow International Ministries in Canarsie. I have no idea where that's at in New York. Canarsie, around 11:14 a.m. when three masked gunmen burst in. He said, "How many of you have lost your faith because you saw somebody else die?" That's what he was saying. Whitehead asked his congregation right before spotting the armed guys. All right, Whitehead then said several times before hitting the floor on his hands and knees. The men took $400,000 worth of jewelry from Whitehead, his wife, and certain churchgoers. Whitehead, dressed in a maroon suit with a gold-trimmed collar and sleeve cuffs, was wearing a long gold chain and a large ring on each finger at the time. Each finger! He's got 10 rings.
Yeah, so?
2 months ago, Whitehead said he was trying to negotiate the surrender of Andrew Abdullah, 25, in the fatal shooting of Goldman Sachs employee Daniel Enriquez aboard a Manhattan-bound Q train. Whitehead showed up at the 5th Precinct in Rolls-Royce to supposedly usher in the surrender, but Abdullah was instead nabbed by cops at the Legal Aid Society offices in Manhattan. Okay, here's a picture of him and his wife. He looks like he's like 16 years old. His wife looks like she's like a Barbie doll. And he's got this necklace around his neck with a cross on it. I think the cross must weigh 10 pounds. And I'm not exaggerating. That necklace and the cross itself must be worth like, I don't know, $100,000 in gold, something like that.
Wow.
And he drives a Rolls Royce. Here he is in his Rolls Royce. He's got his glasses probably. You know how you can see some people have like super, super, super expensive glasses because
yes.
the more expensive glasses they are, the more fragile they are. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking?
You know what? That's really true.
It is true.
Yeah, it is.
The more expensive the glasses are, the more fragile they are. Because if you're wearing like construction grade, like the kind of glasses you had to wear when you were working for the FAA because you had to wear certain eye protection, right?
Yes.
You buy those for like $10, okay? The expensive ones, if you look at them the wrong way, the hinges break, It's just the way it is, okay? So this guy gets robbed when he's doing his sermon. And once again, there's pictures of the guys running through the church. Obviously they got, they got all black on. You know what? I think this was Antifa.
No.
Well, they look dressed just like Antifa guys.
All black,
yeah.
not very original.
Right. Isn't that what you're supposed to?
Are they like ninjas?
They look sort of like. Well, it's funny you should mention that. They do look like ninjas. Hold on, I got to do this. Here. I got to put. I've got flip-flops in already. Oh my God! Have you heard the story about Elon Musk?
What?
This guy is the ultimate scoundrel.
What?
We'll talk about it next hour. It's like unbelievable.
Well, I'm about ready to come off Facebook and just stay on Instagram.
Well, Facebook is, you know what? I read that story last week about how it's supposed to start to change. Has yours changed yet? Mine hasn't.
Yes.
Yours changed?
Yes.
Really? Did it? So
yes.
It's the new style TikTok kind of Facebook?
I don't know what the TikTok GUI is.
Well, they're going. The interesting thing is, Shelly's going to not be able to know anything what's going on in the world because Shelly says she gets all her news from TikTok. They're from Facebook.
I said from Facebook.
They're dumping news. They're not going to have news anymore. They're getting rid of all their news. Gone. Going to be gone.
I don't even know what to say about that.
Just like TikTok. If you go to TikTok for news, guess what? There's no news there. There's no Brian Williams there to tell you that how many people got killed in New Orleans when nobody got killed. There's no Brian Williams to tell you about how he got shot at in a helicopter in Iraq when he didn't. You know that whole weird story?
Where is he?
He's out of the business now. Remember he was the big dude on NBC and they caught him lying all these different stories. He talked about how when he was covering the Katrina disaster in New Orleans, talked about how he was in his hotel room. He'd look out the window and there'd be bodies floating by. And that turned out to be absolutely positively false. Then he talked about when he was embedded with some group, some military. I can't remember if it was the Marines or who it was, the Army, the Green Beret, or the SEALs. He was embedded with them in Iraq, and he talked about how he was in a firefight, and then he was also his helicopter came under rocket attack, and a rocket bounced off the side of the helicopter. Never happened. It's going like, okay, here's the guy. Here's the head guy for NBC News, the chief reporter and correspondent, and he's spewing BS. What does that tell you about NBC News? It's almost like CNN
that
news,
it
right?
should be on our show.
Yeah, Brian Williams, you're our news guy. right. Brian, great line, Shelly. That is true. He should be right here on BS.Show. Because our motto is
what?
All the news that's fit to make up. That's what our motto is.
That's what our motto is?
Yeah, all the news.
I never knew that.
All the news that's fit to make up.
I always thought it was, let's just have a normal conversation like we do every day.
Is BS. Okay, we have to take a break.
Yeah, it usually is.
It is 6:59.
Break.
Yes, it's officially 5 months till Christmas today. We are the first radio station in the country to go all Christmas music. KZK, eat your heart out. We're going to kick your butt in the ratings. You don't have a stand a chance. All those people over there at KZK, I think they have, whole one person on the air anymore. Anyway, they're all gone. Anyway.
Sherry Farmer's on there quite a bit.
At KZK?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. Will she do weekends or what?
I don't know.
Okay, what's going on?
But she's on there quite a bit. She's on several stations quite a bit.
Put your microphone in front of your face again.
That's what he said.
Much better. Okay. Okay. I printed my list out again. I don't have my top 10 list, but here we go again. And what's interesting, everybody, here's a story. Okay, here's a story. I'm looking at this right now. This is on The Hill, okay? You know what The Hill is? Online publication. There's a quote on here this is from their editorial. We're entering a climate.
The Hill as in Washington.
Yes. This is a publication called The Hill, okay? Here's a quote from one of their editorials yesterday. We are entering a climate that humans did not evolve to withstand, okay? I have my list. Here it is. This is official government list from the National Weather Service. I just printed it off the computer. You can find the exact same thing. If you want, I'll post a link on our BS.Show account, and you can find it. Okay, let me just read you some dates. Okay, this is July. I'm reading July. Okay, hold on. I'm in it wrong month. Okay, July. Okay, July 2nd, 1933. What was the high temperature?
92.
101. July 9th, what was the high temperature in 1936? Take a guess.
107.
103. Okay. July 14th, 1954, which was interesting, which I think is the all-time high for the St. Louis area, I believe. Guess what?
I actually think that you had called this out before.
I did. July 14th, 1954. Guess what the high temperature was?
103.
115.
Wow.
Okay. July 16th, 1936, 103. July 18th, 1954, 112. July 19th, 1934, 106. July 20th, 1934, 110. July 21st, 1901, over 100, almost 100, well, over 120 years ago, 106. July 23rd, which was just, today's the 25th, 23rd was which is Saturday, okay? The high temperature, 1934, 108. July 24th, which was yesterday, the high temperature, 111 in 1934. Okay, 111.
It was hot yesterday. It was hotter the day before, though.
See, what's interesting about this is everybody's going, oh my God, it's so hot. It's never been this hot before. You know what? Be a student of history. My dad was the ultimate student of history. My dad knew more in his little thumbnail than, actually had a big thumb, but in his little finger thumbnail, a little finger thumb, a little fingernail, than I had my entire brain. Smart guy. I'm the dumb guy. He was an engineer. I went into radio. That shows you what my problem was. Anyway.
Unbeknownst to everyone else that you actually had a full ride.
Okay. First off, the smartest woman in the world says, what are you suggesting besides nothing that is valid? Every year we have a few hot days in the year. Well, once again, if it gets people, oh my God, it's never been this hot before. Got news for you. It's been much hotter. And once again, go back to the 30s. Where was Al Gore? Was Al Gore born? What year was Al Gore born in?
He wouldn't be in the 30s. He's closer to my age. Or your age, one of the two.
No. Here, how old's Al Gore? I got to look that up. Al Gore. Al Gore, who complains, he's like John Kerry. He complains about global warming, yet he flies around his private jet. A private jet puts more pollution into the air in 1 hour than your car does like in a whole year. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed.
You know what I mean? It's to the point where like, okay, dude. I mean, like, matter of fact, the Kardashians have gotten in trouble. What was he? Kylie Jenner, whatever her name is. She got in trouble because she took a selfie of herself taking a private jet flight from like California, like Los Angeles, like from south of Los Angeles to north of Los Angeles. She drove and she put on her Facebook page, in traffic, an hour and 20 minutes on my jet, 20 minutes. Ooh, excuse us. Us poor mortals who have to drive on the interstates. And she gets to drive. She gets to go like from south of L.A. to north of L.A. in her private jet. Al Gore was born in 1934, the hottest.
Oh my gosh!
The hottest year of ever. 1934. Actually,
that actually surprises me that he was born that early.
I'm kidding. Yeah. See, does that tell you the hottest year ever? And he's born 1948. He's 74 now. And remember him and the VChip? Remember that? Do you remember that?
No.
Oh my God, that's all he talked about with the VChip. Don't you remember this goofy thing?
No.
The VChip, him and you remember Tipper, who I think was like
Tipper Gore.
Yeah, Tipper was his wife, who I think was like a closet freak, if you know what I'm saying. Tipper was the one who got seriously. Tipper was
nice, Brad.
Tipper was the one who got the stupid parental advisory thing stamped on records. Remember, if you go to the store back in the day, you go to Peaches and you go through the records, and if it was like a George Carlin comedy album, it had like a stamp on it. It says parental suggestion, parental advisory. That it had like bad language in it. Well, the VChip was this chip that he wanted to put in TV sets so that it would filter out the questionable stuff. In other words, if you were a parent, you could go into the settings of the TV set and you could engage the VChip, and the VChip would not allow your kids to watch certain programs. You don't remember this?
No, but that doesn't mean anything because I don't remember yesterday.
That's all he talked about was the VChip. I bet you any money if I go and let me see.
And when was this?
Here, I'm gonna search this.
What year?
I'll tell you. I'm gonna search it right now. VChip. Okay, here's right here. VChip. VChip is technology used in television set receivers in Canada, Brazil, and the United States that allow the blocking of programs based on their ratings categories. It's intended for use by parents to manage their children's television viewing based on blocking systems. Doesn't work on the internet now. And here's Bill Clinton.
What year was this, Brad?
Bill Clinton presenting the VChip in 1996. VChip technology is a picture of him. He's got this little chip, little circuit board card. VChip technology works more like closed captioning, blah, 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 blah. The VChip has a 4-digit numerical password in order to keep the older children from changing its settings. However, it can be overridden by anyone who reads the television instruction, finds out how to reset the password to 0000. Built into the VChip in case the parents themselves forget the password they said. The phrase VChip was purposely coined by then Representative Ed Markey of Massachusetts. According to him, the V stands for violence. However, in an interview with Tim Collins, one of the people who claimed to have invented the device, he said it was intended to stand for viewer control. History, 1975, the family viewing hour was introduced in the United States, in which do you remember that? In which TV stations had to broadcast play content suitable for all ages. This idea quickly abandoned because broadcasters felt it violated their First Amendment rights by restricting where they could play, blah, 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 blah. Implementation. In 1993, Keith Spicer met with the top American executives, disclosed information about the VChip technology. It's pretty interesting. And Al Gore was always talking about the VChip. Always. Okay, that's number one. Okay, number two, flip-flops, okay? I don't get it, Shelly. I don't understand flip-flops. I was listening to...
For men or women?
No, I was listening to NPR over the weekend, okay? And I shouldn't admit that, but two things that I heard Saturday morning when I'm driving out to the transmitter site. First off, they had this pretty interesting guy. They had, like, they call it, I don't know, like one of their long-form programs. They have a whole hour. And they had this guy who was an ATF agent, BATF agent, and he was trying to infiltrate the Hell's Angels gangs. In this particular group he's trying to infiltrate, this chapter was in Arizona. And once again, Hell's Angels. Think about that for a minute, okay? This guy's trying to infiltrate the Hell's Angels and become a Hell's Angels member, okay? He tells the story about one day he went to a Hell's Angels meeting wearing, guess what?
Leather?
Flip-flops.
Oh.
Okay?
And a marijuana shirt? Haha.
I know who you're talking about.
I know.
Okay. He shows up at a Hell's Angels meeting. He's trying to get in the Hell's Angels meeting. Shows up in flip-flops. Okay.
Which is like the first thing. It's like a biker code. You don't wear flip-flops on your Harley.
Right. I mean, no. The ones down in Defiance wear flip-flops in their Harleys all the time.
No, they don't.
Yeah, it is. Trust me, I know. Okay.
Okay.
And by the way, did you know the Hoffmans bought Defiance? They own the whole city now. Anyway.
Do they? Did they really buy Defiance?
Oh, yeah, they own everything there. Yeah, matter of fact, they own parts of 94 now. Matter of fact, they've turned it into a toll road. So when you go...
And they bought Mid-America coaches, don't they?
Oh, yeah, they bought everything. They bought the airport.
Yeah, I heard they did that.
They bought the airport, yeah. Matter of fact, they bought the Missouri River between Washington and Augusta. Did you know that? Anyway.
I did not, but
okay,
go on.
So the guy talks about how he gets tossed out of a Hell's Angels meeting, and the guy who is the head of the Hell's Angels guy, he says, if I ever see you again in flip-flops, I will put a bullet in your head. And I'm going like, whoa.
Okay. Good talk.
Don't wear those flip-flops.
No.
Okay, that's flip-flop story number one. Flip-flop story number two is I watched these two brothers. They're called the Nico brothers, Niko, and it's sort of interesting. They run an auto body shop, and they buy these cars at Coparts. You know, Coparts is like where one of my cars ended up, where when that December afternoon or December morning when I'm driving down Clarkson Road and a lady who just got out of school from Mizzou was flying down Clarkson Road, didn't see me, stopped at the stoplight and hit my 10-month-old car and smashed the front, and it hit me so hard I smashed the car in front of me, and they didn't have to cut me out of that car, but the paramedics had to pull me out of the car because the door was jammed shut. Anyway, they go to Coparts, and they go to buy a car. Now, if you know, like a lot of places, if you go to like, you know, and if you know about Coparts, it's a big old lot. It's an auction lot. You buy stuff online, and then you go to pick it up, and you got to drive into the auction lot. So they drive their truck and their trailer into Coparts, and the guy tells them, you know, they're going to load their car. They pick up the cars with these huge forklifts and drop them on the back of trailers. The guy tells them, I'm sorry, we can't load your truck because you're wearing flip-flops. Okay?
That's about right. Yes.
Because once again, safety issue. When you're walking around a junkyard with broken glass everywhere, because these are cars that, you know, there's broken glass everywhere because these are cars that have been crunched. And they got mad because Copart refused to load them because they had flip-flops on, and they had to go and buy shoes. They went, because they weren't near their house, they were like hundreds of miles away. They went to like Wally World and bought a pair of shoes and went back to Copart and got their car load. Okay. Then number 3, the same guys, the one brother, he's working on cars in their shop in flip-flops. I'm going like, dude. There's probably OSHA guys sitting there going, okay, video on July 23rd, working on car in flip-flops, cut off shorts, T-shirt, no safety glasses. You know what I mean? They're going to walk in and they're going to walk in and nail them. Okay? And they go, hey, here's your OSHA violations. And this is a shop. This is not like 2 guys working out of their house. It's guys working out of a auto body shop that they own. It's like, okay. That would be like me walking into a bank and say, "Hey, I'm on Facebook Live. Yeah, hey, look at me. Hey, here's the teller. Hey, by the way, there's my note. It says, give me the money." Did you hear that story over the weekend? Another great story. Guy robbed 2 banks. In the second bank, he drops his wallet.
What a moron.
And didn't realize he drops his wallet. So guess who shows up at his house?
The police?
The FBI. Let me see if I can find that.
They're just after everybody, aren't they?
Oh, well,
I want to talk about logins in Messina.
Hold a minute. I got one more thing to talk about. Guy drops wallet, bank robber. Hold on, let me see if I can find this story quick. I heard this story. Bank, R-O-B-B-E-R. Okay. Where is this? Greenville County, South Carolina. Here we go. Here's the story. A man accused of robbing Greenville County and Lake City banks was arrested in Virginia. The Greenville County Sheriff's Office said the suspect, who was also accused in other bank robberies from South Carolina and Virginia, was identified after he accidentally dropped his wallet at another robbery. Christopher Jason McNeil, 42, of Raleigh, was arrested Thursday afternoon by the U.S. Marshal Service in Fredericksburg, Virginia. McNeil is charged with armed robbery, entering a bank with intent to steal, and for possession of a weapon during a violent crime. Deputies said McNeil entered the Wells Fargo Bank on Woodruff Road on July 11th and gave the teller a note demanding money. Warren stated that he pulled up his shirt to show the teller a gun, and when he did that, he accidentally dropped his wallet.
Shaking my head, brother.
Does it get any better than this? He's also accused. He pulls up his shirt to show his gun, and he drops his wallet.
It's like a Will Ferrell show.
It's like a comedy routine.
Yeah, it is.
McNeil is also accused in other robberies in Lincoln County, North Carolina, Southern Pines, North Carolina, and Colonial Heights. He's been a busy boy. He's being held in, God, how do you spell this? Rappahannock, Rappahannock. Wasn't that a Nelly album? Rappahannock Regional Jail.
No, that was Air Force
in Virginia, awaiting extradition.
Oh, Tiffany, they're singing. I love Nelly. He's singing a song about the president's plane.
Right. Okay.
Mom,
so
it's tennis shoes.
I've heard. Oh, I'm listening to NPR Saturday morning. Okay, I'm driving to the transmitter site to sweat my butt off to fix the air conditioner. Okay, so I'm listening to NPR. And I hear this, I think to myself, I am envious of this woman. They're interviewing this lady on...
Don't be jelly.
No, let me tell you. Wait till you hear what her title is and what her job is. And you will be jelly as well, too. Okay? They're interviewing her Saturday morning on NPR. And has a new job. It's just a new created position in Los Angeles. And she is the first ever person to hold this job. You know what the job is?
No.
Listen carefully.
I'm listening.
We're
all ears.
She's the chief heat officer.
Cool.
Yeah. Funny. The chief heat officer. I'm thinking to myself, am I listening to like the Onion radio? Is this Babylon radio? I mean Babylon B radio? And they go on to explain that there's a new job created, and she's probably making $150,000 a year. She's the chief heat officer. And you know what one of her jobs is?
No.
She's supervising them painting asphalt parking lots white.
Why?
I'm thinking to myself.
So they don't absorb so much heat?
Exactly. And her job is to essentially go around the city and tell people, You're generating heat. Stop it. That's her job. She's the chief heat officer. I'm going like, is this for real? And I looked it up, and sure enough, let me find her name. I'm going like, is this? I mean, like, I've heard of some goofy stuff before. If I showed up at your door and I knocked on your door and you don't know who I was, hey, Miss Barr.
Thank you for specifying that, because
Miss Barr?
I wouldn't open it if it was you.
Miss Barr, yes, I'm Miss Barr. I'm Brad. I'm the chief heat officer here in St. Charles County, and we're going to give you a violation. Why would that be, sir? Well, you drive a black car. Yeah? Well, what's the problem? Well, you're generating heat. That black car is absorbing the sunlight, and when you drive around, wherever you drive, the temperature is increasing by 10 degrees. When you're driving down 94 in St. Charles County, temperature's going up. When you're down on 47 down in Warren County yesterday, temperature's going up because you're driving a black car.
With black interior.
It's all your fault, and I'm the chief heat officer. Here, chief heat officer. Let me just Google this and see what comes up. I'm thinking to myself, this can't be for real. This is like a joke.
Do you think you're being punked?
Here it is. Los Angeles becomes latest city to hire chief heat officer. This is the Smithsonian Magazine website, okay? As temperature rises, these new leaders in LA, Miami, and Phoenix are trying to reduce heat-related deaths and hospitalizations. As global temperatures continue to rise, once again, I'm going back to my list of temperatures, back with the highs in the St. Louis area. All the highs were like the top 10 list of the top 10. I think 8 of them were from the 30s and the 50s, okay? 1930s, 50s. As global temperatures continue to rise because of caused climate change, some cities in the United States are hiring chief heat officers to respond to extreme heat and its sometimes deadly ripple effects. Earlier this month, Los Angeles became the latest and largest city to appoint its first ever chief heat officer, joining Miami and Phoenix and adding a new position to the city leadership. Marta Segura, that was the name I heard, LA's former director of climate emergency mobilization, now holds the new title in the nation's second largest city. As the city experiences longer and more heat waves, she'll work with other city departments and public health officials to reduce heat-related deaths and hospitalizations. Responsibilities include adapting infrastructure to reduce heat and heat-related deaths, planting trees to provide cover, and informing the public about heat-related needs and rights.
That's quite a list. Tack on other duties as assigned, and it's perfect.
I'm going to go talk to the mayor of Cottleville and see if I can get the job as chief heat officer in Cottleville. I wonder, Steve Ellman's running for re-election in St. Charles County.
He is.
And Mr. Brinker, Tim Brinker's running for, no, I don't think he's running. I think he's already got reelected. I need to talk to him. I need to get the job as chief heat officer. Don't you think I made a great chief heat officer?
I do.
Like in Franklin County, I'd pull up to like all the fast food places.
CHO.
Hey, turn off your grills. You can't cook. You can't cook anymore. Matter of fact, you know what? Town and Country Fair coming up. I bet you there's all sorts of heat coming out of the Town and Country Fair. There's people grilling and stuff like that. Shut that place down. Shut the Town and Country Fair down. Too much heat. And the guys, the tractor pulls.
But not until you get your steak sandwich or your fish.
Right.
That's like a moral imperative.
Yeah, I'd show up and I'd go, yeah, okay, I want that Cattleman's ribeye steak sandwich, and they're right next to the Borgia fish place. I get Borgia. And then after I sat and ate my stuff, okay, you guys are shut down. I'm Brad. I'm the chief heat officer here in Franklin County, and you're generating too much heat. That grill back there making those ribeyes and making that fish, too much heat. Shut it down right now. Turn it off. Turn it off. God, wouldn't that be a job? Wouldn't that be a job? I mean,
only in your dreams,
you could go,
Brad.
You could go around and say anything you want because I'm the chief heat officer. I know what I'm talking about. That's heat. Yeah, that's heat. Matter of fact, I'd go to the auto parts store and say, you guys sell heat? That stuff that you put in your gas tank? Yeah, give it all to me. You can't sell it anymore. You're generating heat. Shut all the gas stations down. Hey, you're generating heat. Exhaust comes out of those exhaust pipes. It's hot. You can't. You get an electric car. Pete Buttigieg says, get an electric car. God, I saw this video on these guys. There's another new electric car company called Lucid, Lucid. You ever heard of this before?
I haven't.
Amazing cars. They start at like $120,000. I'm going like, yeah, Pete Buttigieg. He was on TV the other day. Hey, go get an electric car. Dude, maybe when you're working for the government, you're pulling down $300K a year, and you can save all that money because people drive you around. You don't have to spend any money in your own car. You can afford a $120,000 car, but I got my $300 rescue car. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Okay, we'll talk about Cottleville next break.
We'll talk about what?
Cottleville next break.
Well, we're supposed to talk about... I forgot.
Heat officer. Flipflops.
No.
We already did those.
No.
Yeah. Cottleville next break. 7:28.
No, it wasn't Cottleville. It was something else.
It is BS.Show, the very first radio station in the country to go all Christmas music. Yes, 5 months from today. Today is the 25th of July. 5 months from today, it's Christmas. This is being sponsored by Wally World. If you go to your local Wally World store and you walk in the front door, Christmas trees everywhere. You'll hear the Christmas music outside. Santa's out there ringing a bell for the Salvation Army. It all starts today. And I am proud to be the very first radio station in the country to go all Christmas music.
Okay. Bravo.
Saturday, Cottleville, Loggins and Messina. Did you hear the
What
big...
happened? I didn't even know they were coming. I love them.
Who's that?
Loggins and Messina?
No. At Loggins and Messina in Cottleville. That's the name of that.
Piazza Messina?
No, it's at Loggins and Messina. Isn't that what's called Loggins and Messina? That place right there?
It's called Piazza Messina.
That's what I said, Loggins and Messina, right?
Whatever. Okay, move on.
Owned by the Russo family?
Yes.
You know what happened?
What?
They had to scramble the Cottleville Police Department.
For?
You didn't hear about this?
No.
Seriously?
Brad, I've told you 3 times no.
There's another good one.
Yeah, I'll repeat that one.
Okay, say it again.
Brad, I've told you 3 times no. Now stop
That's what she said.
Continue on.
This year.
Oh, never mind. I hit the wrong button.
That's what she said.
Okay. This terrible human being was there at Loggins and Messina on Saturday, and they had protesters out the wing wang. You ever had too many protesters got in your wing wang?
Hate when that happens.
Okay.
It's just horrible.
This terrible, horrible person who represents nothing but evil. You know who I'm talking about?
No.
Ted Cruz.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Brian Richardson.
Boy, you said it. I didn't. Okay. No.
I did indeed.
Ted Cruz was in town. I think he was with Eric Schmidt, who's our Attorney General.
I didn't even know that.
And by the way, have you seen all the memes with Josh Hawley? Oh, my God, is that funny?
No, I haven't.
Oh, my God, that's funny. Happened last week. We'll talk about that a little bit, too. Okay, so Eric Schmidt is being endorsed by Ted Cruz. If you don't know who Ted Cruz is, he's the senator from Texas. And Ted Cruz is one of these guys. He's black or white. He's red or green. He's left or right. There's no in-between with Ted Cruz. You either love him or you hate him.
There's no gray area.
Right. You either love Ted Cruz or you hate Ted Cruz.
Very polarizing.
There's nothing in between, okay? One or the other. If you're Democrat, you hate him. If you're Republican, even a lot of Republicans hate him. But for the most part, he's very polarizing, okay? He got there, and they had a couple of protesters that got into the meeting, and they had to be escorted out because they're inside Loggins and Messina, and they're giving their presentation, the whole bit. And then after the thing was over, the pink-headed ladies blocked the exit, and they wouldn't let anybody out.
What does that mean, the pink-headed ladies?
Those gals who wear the pink hats, like the 2 little, like the cat hats, whatever they, like the little points on their head, which I've never.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't understand. They wear these stocking caps that has like 2 little points on their head. I'm going like, okay, I don't quite understand what that means. But they wear pink stocking caps. They look like cats with like 2 big, cat ears. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Never mind. Anyway, they blocked the exit and they wouldn't let anybody leave.
Okay. Pink-haired ladies blocked the exit.
No, not pink-haired, pink-hatted ladies. They blocked
pink-hatted ladies
blocked the exit.
The exit.
They were protesting Ted Cruz because they hate Ted Cruz, and they blocked the exit. And the Cottleville police had to come and respond and restore order because they wouldn't let anybody out. Because there's only one way into that place. There's not like a
there is. That's true. You're right.
The only other way out where there would be like through the creek. You know what I mean? Because there's a creek back there. That's Darden Creek right there. Okay, so the police had to come and escort the pink-hatted ladies out of the parking lot or out of the entranceway so everybody could leave. And it took like 20 minutes to move them. I think they actually sat down for a while, right on the street.
So what was his damage? What was their damage?
What do you mean, what was their damage?
Why were they there?
To protest because they hate him.
Why did they hate him?
Because he stands for everything they don't. Simple as that.
Well, that's just like half the country.
Right. Well, I mean, but what's interesting about that is when you think Cottleville, you don't necessarily think of like, political protests going on, and you don't think of like the pink-hatted lady.
Especially not women, because the politicians don't seem to worry about them.
Because they don't care about them.
Well, I don't think that's true.
Hold it now. I'm getting people who are saying, what? I explained this to me about the pink hats. I don't quite understand.
Yeah, I don't understand them either. Are you talking about the purple hat ladies?
No, they're pink hats. They're called...
Was there any pictures?
Something about... I say they're like cat hats. They're like cat ear hats. I don't know exactly what they are. But that's what they wear. Matter of fact, these things came in style back when Trump became president. Remember, you can't say anything bad about the president, but yet remember when Trump got elected, the couple days after he got inaugurated, it was Madonna who said she was going to blow up the White House. Remember that? Did she ever get thrown in jail? No. If you or I said we're going to blow up the White House, guess what? The Secret Service agents
they would never find the bodies.
The Secret Service agent would be at our door within an hour, right? I mean, but Madonna, she can get away with that. Anyway, that was the big excitement. I'm thinking to myself, man, I miss that. Because, and first off, Loggins Messina is a very nice place. Have you ever been? We've been there before.
Piazza Messina, Brad.
It's Loggins Messina. Isn't that what it's called? They play.
Really?
You walk through the door and you hear Danger Zone beam.
No, you don't.
Danger
Stop
Zone.
It.
Boom,
it's
boom,
called
boom.
Piazza Messina. It's actually owned by the Russo family, and it is in Cottleville, towards the
right there.
What would you say, like the northwest?
No, it's right next to the lake. That's Lake Cottleville. Did you know that?
I did not.
Yeah, that was where Mr. Cottle used to go when before they had running
water.
Go
to the Ville.
No, that's where he used to swim. That's how, back in the day, you didn't have a shower. You just went down to the lake.
You're so full of crap.
No, seriously. Back in the day,
seriously,
there was no showers, no running water. How did you get clean? You went down to the lake. You went down to the stream.
That's not true.
It's true.
You sat there and you got a big tub. You filled it full of water. The oldest got in first, all the way down to the youngest, and that's how they took a bath.
No, not true. Hey, there have been 42. There have been 42 number one songs in country music written about Lake Cottleville.
Okay.
Yeah, the song. I mean, like for example, there's several songs that talk about the same lyric. Hey, pretty girl, get up in my truck. I got 34s. Put your pretty.
Are you going to mention those pink toes again?
You
have a fetish, don't you?
Well, that's the song.
You have a fetish.
Put your
You're like a pretty fetish dude.
No,
with pink toes.
Your pretty pink toenails on the dashboard, and we're going to go down to Lake Cottleville, and we're going to splash around. I'm telling you, if you turn on WIL right now, there'd be a song about, going down to Lake Cottleville and splashing in the water. Yeah, and skinny dipping in the water. And we leave our clothes in the trees, and you and I will be down there with the birds and the bees in Lake Cottleville, if you please. That's one of the songs. You don't believe me, do you?
Oh, look, 7:43.
I wish I could figure out what kind of hats those ladies are wearing. I don't.
You know what? You just need to let that go.
I don't understand. I'm going like,
let it go.
If I wore one of those hats, would
that's hard for you.
Would that be weird if I wore one of those hats? I wonder if I can find them on Amazon. Let's see if I can find them.
I would probably suggest not to do that.
7:44.
You'll be escorted out.
Yes, you've heard right. It's the Trimulcast, 104.5 KSOQ, 107.1 Westplex, and 1350 Crap, the first radio stations in the country to go all Christmas music. And you know what?
What?
Al Gore called me up this morning and thanked me because he said because we played that song, the temperature is only going to be 82 today.
Cool.
Baby, it's cold outside compared to over the weekend.
Baby, it is cold outside.
Baby, it's cold outside.
And that song is priceless.
Oh, and you know what?
What?
That's the guy I want to be. By the way, that Brett Eldridge.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. You ever seen, if I were a woman.
Do you have like a man crush?
I do, on Brett Eldridge. I'm thinking to myself, first off.
And for, what's his name?
First off.
Trace Atkins.
Oh, Trace Atkins. I'm trying
He's
to
like
think.
the ultimate man for
Well,
you,
yeah.
isn't he?
For example, he's a man. How many men can say they got shot by their wife, the bullet went through both lungs and their heart, and they lived and they didn't divorce their wife? I mean, think about that for a minute. And they didn't throw her in jail. I mean, that's the ultimate man. Honey, as Trace said, Trace, honey, I think you just shot me. I think that bullet just went through my lungs and my heart. But you know what? No harm, no foul. I won't be upset with you. What time's dinner? Right?
Yeah. I can see it.
Brett Eldridge. And you know what's interesting? He's
What?
had 5 #1 hits on country charts, and he's done. I think he did like a big band album. He's got that.
Oh, I
like
love
that
that.
Dean Martin kind of, Frank Sinatra kind of. Don't you think he's got like
He
that
does.
that Bing Crosby
That
kind
vibe.
of, that Michael Bublé kind of voice? That like,
Yes.
hey, give me a martini. Hey, sit back and enjoy your night. Hey, don't forget to tip your waiter and waitresses, right?
Yes. That would have been the time around the Playboy Club.
And when your dad ran it, right?
Yes.
People don't believe. I've told that story before. People go, "There's no way her dad ran the Playboy Club." Who ran the
He
Playboy?
did. It's on my birth certificate.
What? Did he ran the Playboy Club?
Yes. Director, Playboy Club.
Get out! It's on your birth certificate.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Did they have little bunny ears on your birth certificate too? Is there like, did they put a little cottontail on you when they brought you out of the
They
maternity
probably
ward?
did. Yeah. I would have actually loved to have gone when I got older.
You never went there?
No, I was born in '64. That era was almost gone.
No. I went to the Playboy Club in the 80s, in the late 70s.
I was too busy trying to be a mom.
Late 70s. It was down in South County. They moved it down to South County. Remember when it was down in South County? We did.
Yeah, I think that he might have been Lyndall though.
We did a dance contest there, a disco dance contest. I was the MC at a disco dance contest, and somewhere, I think my brother probably threw it away, but somewhere there's a picture of me and Miss July from the Playboy Club, and they gave me.
Damn, you had a good run.
I've
Brad.
had a good life, let me tell you. They gave me, you know how you have like those pieces of wood that they mount like, I've never told you this story before.
Did they mount their cottontail on it?
No. Yeah, that's just like what it is. You know how you guys have like a big piece of wood where you mount like the deer head on it, the one you shot?
Uh-huh.
They gave me this thing which was like a big piece of like, it was like, looked like expensive wood, like walnut, and it had a big old bunny tail on it, and it said, "Caught live at the Playboy Club."
That is so cute, and that actually does sound like something my father would do. He was very ingenious.
He wasn't there then because that was they changed ownerships when they moved down to South County. They were in a hotel. It was on the parking lot.
He was there in '63. That's what I know.
Yeah, but this was like in the 70s when I was there. This
that's
had
what
to be
I'm
like,
saying. I think he was down on Lyndall.
This had to be like 76, 77, 78 through there. When
No.
I was, well, I mean, I know, but they moved. They weren't down on Lyndall anymore.
Right.
They moved.
To SoCo.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
What's the problem?
The problem is you're right and I'm always wrong. That's the problem.
I know. It's kind of a perk.
Ah, man. I'm still getting over the fact that somehow mice have gotten into the radio station here. They ate part of my Little Debbie's this morning.
I think it was one of those mutant squirrels myself.
Those
things are mean.
I'm going to grow.
They look at you with your little bitty squirrel eyes. Mm-mm.
The smartest woman in the world says she thinks she threw my bunny tail away. How could that happen? How could that happen? Somebody threw my bunny.
For real? How could that happen? Smartest woman in the world?
My picture of me and Chuck Berry, I think it was gone as well, too. I had pictures of me and Chuck Berry. Do you know that?
I didn't.
You know what? I saw this interview the other day of this guy who used to be a musician, professional musician at one time.
Yeah,
I can't talk.
In band camp?
He played with Chuck Berry. He was like the backup band.
Mm-hmm.
And he said Chuck Berry was notorious for never tuning his guitar. He said he always played an out-of-tune guitar. I'm going like, what? And that's what the guy said. He said, if you listen to Chuck's music carefully, several of the strings are out of tune. I'm going like, I would never have known that. Now, of course, you have people with perfect pitch. They can hear if it's off like, just a little bit. But he said...
Are you that person?
No. He said Chuck was notorious for that. He'd just grab his guitar and play, never tune it. Because back in the day, if you go to concerts now, they have like... You know what I'm talking about? Like with the guitar tech, you know what a guitar tech is?
No.
They have guys. There's a drum tech and a guitar tech. This is all they do. They literally work on the guys' guitars and their drums. And they, like the backstage. If you ever watched like a concert where like somebody's switching guitars all the time, like for example, Brad Paisley. Brad Paisley has like 20 guitars he plays when he's in concert. And there's a guy who comes out on stage and gives him a different guitar. That's the guitar tech. And then when he takes the guitar off stage, the guy takes it back and he tunes it again to make sure it's tuned up. Tunes it, blah 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 blah, tunes it up, blunk, and then he gives it back to And Chuck Berry would just grab his guitar. He didn't care. He just played his guitar. He because he was famous. He didn't care. He just played his guitar.
So he was like the bat boy.
Well, the guitar tech.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like but the back boys, they don't tune the bats. Sometimes they do.
That'd be funny though, wouldn't it? With the little wings.
You can tune a piano, but you can't tune a fish. Did you know that?
Oh, dad joke. I think we should have a segment called Dad Jokes.
What? Why would we want to do that?
Because they're funny and hilarious, and they're kind of stupid, and it just, a little frivolity during the day.
Because this is your world, and you can create anything that you want in it.
Exactly. Just a little thoughty thought.
I think sometimes we work too hard at painting. Painting should always be fun. Should make you happy.
That's really not him, is it?
That's him. That's Bob Ross. That's him.
I don't remember his voice being like that.
Oh yeah, it's Bob Ross. He talked like that. And boy,
he really did.
If you ever read the biography,
a happy little tree here.
What a sad story that guy led a terrible life. He just got screwed by everybody.
He did?
Yeah, it's terrible. He had these people who went in business with that just screwed him. To this day, they own all his paintings and everything. He never got squat.
Oh, that's a shame. Shame on them.
Right. It's like some weird story about like a gal and her husband took control of his life and told him what he could eat, what he couldn't eat, what kind of underwear he had to wear, all sorts of weird stuff. I'm not kidding you. If you read, I think there's something on on Discovery Channel or something like that. There's a like a documentary on him, and
What's it called? Paint by Numbers? Our Happy Little Trees.
No. What's it called? This is what it's called. The documentary is called, you ready for this?
Because this is your world, and you can create anything that you want in it.
That's what the documentary is called. This is your world, and you create anything you want in it. No.
I kind of live by that.
But do you know what?
What?
You know how things, they flow and they ebb and they come back again?
Totally.
He's gotten to be like
kind of like whether I like you or not that day.
Oh, listen to you. He's gotten to be big time. I mean, you go on college campuses and they're all doing Bob Ross impersonations.
Yes.
And they're trying to get their hair like him.
There's a lot of people that tried to get their hair like them, spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars trying to get his hair.
You know what he did in the Air Force?
What?
He was in the Air Force.
Barber?
No, he was an electrician.
Really?
Yeah. Ask Caleb. Caleb will tell you the whole story.
Will he?
Yeah, he worked.
Hey, Caleb.
Yeah,
you need to tell me that story,
He
dude.
worked on a 460 three-phase system and didn't put his hand in his pocket. You know, if you're an electrician, you're supposed to put one.
That is not what happened. Stop it. Okay. Moving on. 7:58.
You fell for that one.
To the moon, Alice. To the moon.
I'm sorry. The Smartest Woman in the World says, love REO. That was one of their album titles. Did you know that?
What, To the Moon?
No, you can tune a piano, but you can't tune a fish.
Tune a fish?
Yes. That was one of their album
titles.
I
did know that.
Great line. And you want me to tell you you know what? If you want me to tell a dad joke, I have a great dad joke tomorrow. I'll tell you. And it was told to me by my dad. And it's really, it's a funny joke.
Is it?
Yeah, it's about Mr. Abernathy.
Mr. Abernathy?
Abernathy, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, look. That's still 7:58.
You can't wait for this one to end, can you? It's
tick-tock.
It's almost time for us to leave. Not quite yet. Not like you're watching the clock, huh, Shelly? You're one of those boys. Oh, I get off at 8 o'clock and it's 7:59 and 45 seconds. I've only got 15 more seconds to go till I can go home. It's like, the places that people don't like working at when it's 5 o'clock, there's a gazillion cars that come out at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do. But I'm not like that. I love my job.
Okay. So we got to go. Say goodbye, Shelly.
Goodbye, Shelly.
And
listen, everybody have a great day. It's going to be amazing. And peace and I fly.
5 months to Christmas.
Slice of heaven as usual.
And we're the first radio station to play all Christmas music, 7:59.
All Christmas music.
Have you heard about Salt River Automotive? Not only are we open for business and ready to serve you, we are sponsors of the BS in the Morning Show on Westplex 107.1. Check us out on Facebook at Salt River Automotive LLC. See you soon.